Welcome to day 26 of our HTML and CSS in Action series. In today's project, we're creating a modern glass resume layout, clean, minimal, and fully responsive. This design will help you learn how to organize sections like profile, experience, education, and skills, all using just HTML and CSS. By the end, you'll have a sleek resume section that looks professional enough for a portfolio or personal website. Let's get started. Inside our main div class resume, I'm starting with the left section of the layout, div class left. This area will hold the personal details that appear at the top of our resume. First, I'm adding an H1 tag for the name, Aysha Sunyoung, followed by a P tag that describes the role, front-end developer. Next, I'm creating a new div with the class name section to group the contact information together. Inside, there's an H2 heading titled Contact. Next, I'm adding another div with the class name section. This one is for our skills. Inside, we have a heading H2 that says Skills, followed by an unordered list UL that includes 4 list items. Each LI represents a key skill: HTML and CSS, JavaScript, React, and UI design. Now moving to the right section of our resume. Here, we'll start with a profile section. It includes a heading that says Profile and a short paragraph describing the person's professional focus and experience. Next, I'm adding 2 more sections, one for experience and one for education. In the Experience section, we have a heading that says Experience, followed by a paragraph that highlights the job title in a strong tag for emphasis. Then another paragraph gives a short description of the work done. Below that, the Education section lists the degree, BSc in Computer Science, along with the university name. Let's start styling our resume with the Body section. I'm setting the font family to Poppins, a clean and modern font that gives our layout a professional look. For the background, I'm using a linear gradient that blends 2 deep shades, number 0F172A and number 1E293B. This creates that soft, dark, glassy effect we'll build on later. The text color is set to a light gray E2E8F0, which provides perfect contrast against the dark background. Next, I'm using Flexbox to center the entire resume both vertically and horizontally on the screen, using Display, Flex, Justify Content, Center, and Align Items, Center. The min height is set to 100 VH so it fills the full viewport height, and I'm adding padding 40 pixels for breathing space around the edges. Now we'll style the main resume container. I'm setting a max width of 850 pixels to keep the layout nicely centered and readable on any screen size. The background uses a semi-transparent white with RGB 255, 255, 255, 0.05. This gives it that frosted glass look we're going for. A border radius of 16 pixels softens the corners, while a subtle box shadow adds depth and makes the resume stand out from the background. The backdrop filter, blur 8 pixels, enhances that glassmorphism effect by blurring whatever is behind the container. I'm using CSS Grid with 2 columns, 1 fraction for the left panel and 2 for the right, so the layout is well balanced. Finally, overflow hidden ensures nothing spills outside the rounded edges, keeping everything clean and polished. And your life. Next, we'll style the left section of our resume. I'm giving it a light teal background tint using RGBA 14, 165, 233, 0.08. For the right section, I'm simply adding 40 pixels of padding to give the content plenty of breathing room and maintain a clean, balanced layout. Now let's style our headings. The main heading, H1, uses a bright teal color, number 5 EAD4, to grab attention and stand out at the top of the resume, with a small margin below it for spacing. For H2, I'm using a lighter blue shade, number 38 BDF8, setting the font size to 1 rem, and adding a slight bottom margin to separate it from the text that follows. This creates a nice visual hierarchy between the main and subheadings. Next, I'm adding some spacing and typography styles to make our content easier to read. Each section gets a margin bottom of 25 pixels to create clear separation between different parts of the resume. The paragraphs and list items share the same font size of 0.9 rem, with a line height of 1.6, giving the text a comfortable, readable rhythm. Finally, the unordered list has a padding left of 18 pixels, adding just enough indentation to align the bullet points neatly without pushing them too far in. And that wraps up day 26 of our HTML and CSS in Action series. Today, we built a modern glass-style resume layout using only HTML and CSS. Clean, minimal, and perfect for your personal portfolio. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, save, and follow for more daily HTML and CSS projects. I'll see you in day 27 with another creative design. Keep coding and stay inspired.